Right, should be live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the people that joined us again after the last talk, and hello to the people that joined us specifically for this talk. I've got James Fraser-Murison here today, who's going to be talking about esports. Super excited about this. They are the Director of Esports at Queen Mary's College, so hopefully they provide some interesting insights to everyone that's watching today. And I'm just going to pass over to them and let them take the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me, Kieran. Much appreciated. And to Chris as well for the kind offer. Thank you for joining. This is an opportunity to really kind of demonstrate the successes as well as one or two of the failures that we've made here with esports within education for Queen Mary's College, specifically looking at a relationship with what we've done with the introduction of the BTEC, the championships, and Yo-Yo Tech, who I also work for, and have helped build and develop various esports gaming arenas up and down the country and abroad. So it's going to be a quick fire kind of journey, I think, because for many of you, you may know this type of information already, but as already been said, anything you want to ask or you want to talk about as we go through it, it will hopefully be picked up in the chat. And you're welcome to use my email address or, of course, find me on LinkedIn at a later date to go through various things. So, without further ado, here's some of the areas that we'll be discussing. And again, this is on a personal journey as well as a collective journey with colleagues and students over the last couple of years involving those subjects there, those bullet points, what we've done and what we want to be able to do moving forward. So I'm not going to go through every single word on the slide. We're all capable of doing that. There's a definition of what esports is from the British Esports Association. And there you've got a really nice picture where that's just one of the 8 British Esports Association championship teams that compete every Wednesday. And that particular photo was taken right at the end of the finals in Nottingham in July, where we had managed to clinch a nerve-wracking final to become national champions in Overwatch. And the reason why that photo is important is because it shows you the dividends and the benefits of esports, not necessarily as a subject such as the BTEC, but also what it can offer to students outside of the BTEC approach, which is communication, problem solving, logistics, team play, and dare I say, fun. We were fortunate enough to have a really successful team of 5 students, 2 of which were female, combination of first years and second years, and they're carrying on either with the esports journey with us here now for this academic year, or they've all gone in to university, one of which to do an esports degree and 2 others involving psychology and business, I believe, and history, I should say. So there's a little bit of background here about who we are, specifically what I get up to from time to time. I say we're the leading provider of esports in sixth form education based on student numbers. We've gone from around 50 or so students back in 2020. That was a combination of the introduction of the single BTEC option that we ran here at QMC and also an enrichment. The esports enrichment then involved only 12 PCs, I think, and we ran games in League of Legends and Rocket League. What we're able to do now and see close to 180 odd students doing esports in some form or another 2 years on, 2.5 years on. We have 9 esports competitive teams that compete every Wednesday. We also have something called esports escapism. We do that twice a week, where it is an opportunity for you to come out of your lesson. So not timetabled lessons. Turn up, sit down either with your friends or purely just on your own and game. There is no education qualification attached to that. That is purely for fun. And there's nothing wrong with fun in education. It's important that we keep going back to that and reminding ourselves about that, because once you've got that established, you can bring in all of the other contemporary, engaging and worthwhile moments that come alongside that in conjunction with the fun element, as I say. So just to fast forward to where we are now, we run the extended diploma and the single BTEC option, both in year 1 and in year 2. As I say, we have 180 odd students in some form or another being involved in esports. We also offer Minecraft enrichment, competitive Minecraft. Our facilities, which you'll see in a minute, are also used by local schools. We have a PRU school. We have an SEN school that come on board and use our facilities when they're not in use with students for the BTEC. And that's about giving back to the community and being able to give opportunities to students across the board, because we firmly believe that esports is a leveler here for people with any interest, regardless of their starting point and their journey and their aspirations. And as I say, we're very fortunate enough to have great facilities that have been built through our partnership and relationship with Yo-Yo Tech, who are down the road to us. And you'll see on further research that it's also Yo-Yo Tech that have gone on and built other arenas and opportunities in conjunction with Newcastle United. We'll be doing something with Leicester. We've done Farnborough, we've done Durham, we've done Media City, to name but a few. And it's about the industry as well as just other educational establishments understanding and recognizing what esports can bring everyone. You've seen the logo now a few times. So each of those students that sign up to competitive competitions on a Wednesday are part of our QM Samurai. QM Samurai consists of the 9 teams, I say, and those teams are competing in Valorant, Overwatch 2, League of Legends, and Rocket League. And it is based on those now because of the numbers that effectively make the trial that we have in the early September. And then again, an opportunity that if you don't make the final selection, there are other opportunities throughout the week through our esports enrichment. There's various data there that makes my life quite easy when I'm discussing the benefits of esports and education, because for the most part it is taken from other existing well-known points of interest and sort of data points from, in this instance, Newzoo's. They can tell us various facts and prominent figures to do with its relevance in terms of viewership. This isn't a time or a conversation as to whether esports is a sport or not, but it is hopefully a segue to be able to see that this is beyond the niche, beyond a niche of 1.2, 1.3, 1.5 billion with the gaming and esports industry. But also it's an opportunity, I think, to show how we've engaged with different businesses, traditional businesses, some nuanced specifically to esports, to also give students specific opportunities in the 2 years that they're here with us. Again, more sort of relevant facts and figures that we've probably seen in some form or another as well. These are figures that I've taken from the British Esports Association website. They're also based on our own progression and sort of journey as we've picked up more and more students in the last 2.5 years that we've been doing this. This is a very well-known, and I have to say, borrowed slide, which you've probably again seen in some form or another. And I'm happy to send this presentation on to those that are particularly interested. It is, excuse me, an eye-opener. It is not, it is not the be-all and end-all. There are many, many other jobs that can come out of having an interest and a passion in esports. And what this does is merely highlight, particularly maybe to the SLTs amongst us, or those that hold the money, what you can do with esports in some form or another. It is absolutely not, obviously, just about being a pro gamer. What the BTEC is able to do is to give other routes and opportunities beyond that into one of the biggest industries that's out there at the moment. Here's some facts and figures as well about what we're able to offer here at QMC when we talk about esports. We're really lucky to be able to have an online virtual safe space, if you will, based within Minecraft. We have the LGBTQ plus AI students turn up in person. They use one of our gaming arenas, and they all onboard into their virtual Minecraft worlds and have chats and have kind of a very nice sort of general conversations, as you'd imagine that any type of student would have walking down various corridors. Only this time they're doing it whilst being safe, being responsible, building in their own communities, their virtual communities. And that's fantastic. And that's absolutely one of the things we want to be able to promote. Here at QMC, we need to do more. We need to actively support anyone and everyone who's got an interest in esports and gaming, obviously. But what it has been is a nice bonus that's come out of being able to give students these opportunities. As I say, there's much more to do. There's much more that can be done across the board and across the UK and abroad. But hopefully this is seen as a nice example of something that for many of us may not have been expected, but is a real positive, and making sure we move forward with that. One of the things we're also wanting to be able to do is to give students opportunities that they've got and they want to be able to share, people within the industry or other similar careers that they can bring to the fore. to give it some substance to future careers. You'll see that that's one of our ex-students at the bottom in a wheelchair. That's Bryony, who also works for the BEA. She did various A-levels with us here at Queen Mary's a few years ago, and she's able to come back as one of the many guests that we have to say that in her instance, her journey within the esports industry is based on journalism. So again, it's a real nice eye opener and a live example of what other people can do with having an esports background or interest and or career. So there's a little bit more update there. That's one of our gaming arenas here down in Basingstoke. Again, that was built based on a grant provided by our local education provider and in conjunction with the local company Yo-Yo Tech. So Yo-Yo Tech saw the opportunity to be able to kind of lead from the front with putting in various gaming arenas, particularly within education, and therefore be able to kind of create a template that you'll see, as I say, dotted around other universities, colleges, schools, entertainment businesses, etc., based on a need for that community, based on a need on particular students or young adults. And again, obviously recognizing this is one of the biggest industries out there. I'll go on to talk about the various business partnerships that we have here at QMC and how we brought them out from or away from traditional A levels or vocational, and really kind of push across what esports can offer industries that are looking for new talent. There is absolutely a need for the traditional personal statement and letter of application. Of course there is, but we live in a time now, and there's many other talks that will be going on yesterday, today, and tomorrow around how to kind of properly engage with future employment and careers. And one of the things I will actively say to all of our students who start with us every September is that this is an opportunity for a 2-year portfolio, in essence. This is an opportunity for you to take some of the vast amounts of talent and knowledge you have, pin it around the various BTEC units that exist, and therefore be able to put into, I don't know, blockchains, Google Sites, however, however you wish to showcase it through Discord and beyond, all of the various different assets that you've gained knowledge on in your 2 years with us. And it's not just about the esports teachers that we have here. I am found on social media as the esports teacher. I don't have an esports qualification, obviously. I merely stole the name before someone else did. But what it does is it allows me to kind of go back on my teaching upbringing on media or business elements, dare I say English teaching, and very specifically cater around the units that I deliver. I have many other colleagues who are all technically esports teachers as well, and we use their PE background, business background, film background, A-level PE background to help create an esports team where the best knowledge that we have is put into the relevant units. So again, we're able to deliver in conjunction with our business partners and with the help of students on this course the best possible avenues and opportunities they can get. We'll talk about business partners, as I say, in a minute, but I heavily lean on them to be able to also offer work experience. I make sure that anyone we partner up with here at QMC, it is because they give students pathways and opportunities in esports, but in a multitude of different careers that aren't obvious, maybe say to parents or even in some cases future employers. And we're really proud of that. We'll be able to talk about that, as I say, but you can see from our journey 2.5 years ago to where we are now, why we're able to kind of pitch ourselves as a leading provider of esports in the UK based on our partners. And you can see there that obviously Yo-Yo Tech is one of them, but Fnatic, we've worked with HyperX. We have a HyperX room next door. We hope to be able to offer something in the future further down the line as well with some other people. And other partnerships that may not be obvious as to why we've paired with them, but as we get into it, I'll be able to sort of demonstrate why those are really useful to our students. What you have in front of you now, if this is the first time that you've seen this slide, these are the 20 units for the BTEC qualification. Now, I was fortunate enough to be asked to write some of them, but I won't tell you which ones. But what you will possibly be able to see is a whole multitude of options that may cater to your teaching team and will also hopefully give students a real understanding and breadth and depth of knowledge of every facet out there. It isn't perfect, but it's a real eye-opener to opportunities available to you. And it does try and cater for any type of element within the industry. There is no qualification that is able to cover every single element of it, but what you see in front of you is an amazing array of opportunities that are essential to understanding esports business, esports entertainment, and the overall industry. And also, what I say to particularly to parents is, if this doesn't make sense to you, if some of those units that you're looking at the moment don't necessarily chime with you straight away, then where possible, remove the word esports in any of those units and replace it with the word business. And hopefully you can understand that the esports qualification is not about making you a better gamer. It absolutely isn't that. But it is going to give you an overview of one of the biggest industries out there and understand it from a business perspective, which many industries and careers are crying out for new talent that have this understanding to go and work for them. This is a little snapshot of two of our students. They are national champions. That isn't why they were picked, because they weren't at the time. This is a snapshot, and this is all GDPR is covered now, so it's fine, of people who are doing esports in a multitude of different ways. So for many people, this might be a bit of an eye-opener as well, that they might not be your traditional esports student. They may not be or look or study what you think they may have. You've got chemistry and history and maths in here. You've got French and psychology as opportunities, and wonderful attendance and progress points. Not every single student of ours is like that, but most of them are. And also there's this really good sort of carrot and stick approach if you need to use it as well, because the opportunities of working with Fnatic, the opportunities for representing college on a national level, are entwined with making you ready for business, which means you turn up on time all of the time for your classes, you do your homework, you submit assignments on time, etc., etc. So we're very proud that these are two students that we've got here to replicate that and show that off at QMC. But they are just, thankfully, two of many students who look and study similar esports programs. So this is an interesting slide, because this is where we spent an awful lot of time in the last year or so, really trying to get ahead of the game, no pun intended, but really kind of stick ourselves out there as an outlier amongst other colleges, universities and schools, because I do believe that there's lots to offer with an esports qualification. I'm passionate about the development of the BTEC and the enrichment to make it bigger and better with each year. I'm sure all of us are in our own unique way with our own studies as well, which is why that we've got here on screen just some of the people that we work with and why. You may or may not heard of someone. Oh, hello. You may or may not have heard of HyperX. I'm sure you have. Current lovely keyboard supplier and headset here. They're leading peripheral suppliers within esports game and work with HP. Yo-Yo Tech I've mentioned a few times already. They do PCs and gaming PCs and peripherals and arena designs and kit outs and the like. Fnatic, with their 1.4 million followers and huge UK org, we are very lucky to be one of 4 colleges in the UK to have a bespoke college partnership program with them. And that's because we lead on this. That's because we've got huge student numbers, but also because we've got the foundations laid now of a successful set of students going through the qualification with us, having opportunities, representing the college, working hard, and therefore, as I say, being able to give back to Fnatic. And at some point, these students will hopefully get picked by some of the people you see here, and we will look after them and nurture them. But also, the partners that you see there have to, as part of our agreement, work closely with QMC. They have to be able to give work experience opportunities to our students. They have to be able to do online seminars and talks as part of our deal in our package, because we also know that esports can be a little wild westy. We know that there's lots of people who want in on this, hopefully all for the right reasons, but also some of them aren't wanting it for the right reasons. So we've got to protect our students where we can. And by signing ourselves up with these types of companies, we believe we're doing this for the right reason. It's unofficial and it may fall apart, but we hope to be able to announce a partnership with Tech She Can for another UK esports first. Let's pick on, say, game plan that was announced a few weeks ago, and the work that they're going to be doing in conjunction with the BTEC and student portfolio building and career advice workshops, and also helping coach and nurture some of the skills required for online gaming as part of the enrichment. And the really interesting one on this list, and something I've ummed and erred about for a while now, is Beyond. Beyond NRG are an energy drinks provider, effectively. Now, we've been very lucky to have various approaches by other well-known energy drinks, and we've always said no. We've gone yes on this occasion because it's a trial. It's a trial for everyone involved, both sides of the agreement, because although I'd like every single student to be in bed by 11 p.m. and drink only water, that isn't the case. If I can partner them up with opportunities where Beyond will provide work experience in esports, on social media campaigns and workshops and the like, then I'll do that. There are no obligation to buy or purchase any other of those products as well. But I also know that if they're going to be drinking something other than water, then I'd like to be able to pair them up with the best alternative out there. And I believe that that's what we've done with our partnership. And time will tell whether this proves to be useful or not. I think it will. It's all done for the right reasons. And again, more importantly, this is giving students opportunities into the esports industry that most colleges, if any, are able to provide like this. So we are very proud of what we've done. But again, it's all done for making sure that the people you see on the screen are then able to take time to nurture, coach, give advice, mold our students on the 2 years that they are with us. Some will go straight into an apprenticeship. Some will go and take work experience here longer term for a year or two, full time, who knows, take a gap year. But it's the fact that we're able to do that and look after them from afar, which makes it quite exciting for them. And hopefully all parties involved will be able to benefit this. And as I say, give the talks back, take the work experience opportunities, and then build from there, really. What you'll see now are sort of various snapshots of what we've done in the last 18 months. This is at HP on an evening of the BET event of March of this year. 4 of my students here and here who belong to Control Esports, their own esports organization and group that they've created during the BTEC with us, have been picked up by HP. They're going to be mentored specifically by them because they recognize the talent and the skills involved. The picture you see here, that is from a face-to-face, obviously, open evening esports talk. So that's the only other opportunity you will have to have a talk on an open evening here at QMC. You have the principals, and then you have mine for an esports evening. And we do 3 talks for 2 nights running, all of them sold out, of parents and students very keen about what esports is and what it can provide. And once we have a similar presentation to this, the penny drops with 99% of them, and they understand its purpose, and it's not a gaming course. But I don't think you'll see any other subject talks that would be as busy as that every night and consistent, really. You'll see one of our speakers that we've also had this term is Emzy, a gold medal winning transgender esports athlete from the Commonwealth Games in the summer. It's fantastic they were able to come in and give talks on opportunities and what it's like for their journey and what they want to do above and beyond just being a sort of on social media, and what they want to be able to give back to the community. Bottom left, you've got students that were sort of handpicked for the Fnatic visit last month, and another wonderful picture of the students winning their well-deserved championship. And so, again, what's really important is what we're able to do with this and what we're able to give back. And that's why we're already looking at our September plan. And again, if people are out there listening that are able to offer and give back and possibly, give opportunities, then get in touch because we're doing the right thing. At least we hope we're doing the right thing, but it's not perfect. And again, what we want to be able to do is to work with like-minded people, regardless of your background, regardless of what business expertise you may or may not have, and help us get even better. And again, you'll see more opportunities that are unique to esports, I think. And just as we get close to summing up, and again looking at the opportunities here, this is another picture of our arena, but this is Olivia, who was instrumental in helping the Duke of Edinburgh esports qualification that took place now last year. We helped shape a little bit of that program, and again, have various interviews on the day with our students who are very keen to be involved in something different to the traditional D&V approach, but based around this new and exciting qualification. And finally, again, some examples of what Yo-Yo Tech are able to do and something you might be interested in at your uni or workplace or what have you. They're just various snapshots of people we've worked with and deployment of arenas up and down the UK this year. And I won't name them all. Some of them haven't been built, they have been agreed. Some of them are out there for you to look up and research, but you can see that these are colleges and universities, entertainment and private business interested parties that recognize the significance and fun of esports. And you can see there's a latest kind of CAD mock-up here at the bottom that's you'll be able to see live on the website soon as well. So everything is kind of going in the right direction momentum wise, because you've got lots of excited people on board that don't necessarily come from traditional esports backgrounds, but understand its significance within education and beyond. And it's been a really successful 12 months for the students involved on esports with partnerships and the units that are being delivered at the moment. We're very lucky to have the facilities we do. But again, it's also worth noting that I'll be more than happy to chat to you about how we started when we only had 12 Ps and we're in a 12 PCs and we were in a traditional setting to be able to kind of move. It wasn't a sprint. It's taken time. Yeah, we got some things wrong along the way, but again, always happy to share those elements of the journey there as well. So conscious of the fact that I've only got a few minutes left, so I'll kind of finish up there. And if there's anyone out in the ether that wants to ask any questions or have a chat, then I'm all yours. If not, thank you very much.
Hey, James. Thanks again for that talk. Absolutely fantastic. There is one question I've just brought up on the screen. It's from NT Esports, which is, do you find recruiting suitable esports teachers tricky? I think that's quite an interesting question.
It's a good question. We do at times, because it's tricky to kind of judge the wording for things like adverts, because we want to recruit staff that are excited about teaching esports and BTEC here, but we don't want to just put esports in the title, because a lot of people go, I don't have an esports qualification, this isn't for me. I'm the esports teacher on Twitter and Instagram, I don't have an esports qualification. So it's being able to adjust the wording, all right, and showcase the potential, but not put people off if they aren't gamers or anything of the like that. I'm not an esporter. I game, I game on my PS5 pretty much on my own narrative-based games, not, massively multiplayer ones. So again, it's about being able to kind of get ourselves out there, recruit and showcase what we do in conjunction with the correct wording, and also showcase the fact that this is based on business and media and traditional sports as well. So there's always opportunities to lean on certain teachers' skill set, I suppose. But a great question. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. And then I think we might have time for a real quick question from me, at least. I'm just kind of curious of your answer to this. What do you kind of think the immediate challenge that the kind of esports education sector is facing currently?
Do you say within education or in general?
Yeah. So like esports education. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, there's what's really particularly interesting is the news that's probably broken today, depending on how up to date or live everyone is looking at this. But we know that the FTX, I'm looking at it now on my phone because it broke, the FTX crypto exchange founder, who was heavily involved in sponsorship of a particular esports team, has been found to do nefarious things, I believe. I haven't read the whole story yet, so don't quote me. And suddenly that will put a spanner in lots of works to go, esports is bad. This is, it's not a thing. It's not an industry. It's all this, that, and everything else. So I think it's an ongoing battle with perception. It's an ongoing battle with maybe I can't do esports unless I involve the right people or invest heavily, or it doesn't have to be any of those things. With most projects, it's got to start with a passion and a journey. So I think pivot around that, make sure you know your business plan, make sure you can show all the wonderful dividends and positives that are out there, and always fight the naysayers, I think.
Fantastic. Well answered. So yeah, we're going to have to wrap it up there because the next talk's going to start in literally 10 seconds. So thanks again to James for that excellent talk, and thanks to everyone that listened. And I'll see you all in the next talk. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.